It's 5 past the hour. We will start right now. Let me introduce myself. Ketan Sampath. You pronounce my name like Nathan with a K. And I am in the role of academic director for this new program, Applied Data Science for Business. I have been faculty at the School of Business for the last 5 years. It was great to come back to teaching. I taught when I was in grad school. That was what paid for grad school and was a lot of fun. So after having worked in industry for a long time, it was fun to come back to teaching. And over the last 2 years, our Associate Dean, Melissa, will introduce herself, and I worked to create and launch this program along with a whole lot of others as well. Let me also introduce David Bickman. David is in the role of recruitment and student support. David, if you could introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you, Ketan. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm really excited for everyone to learn more about this exciting program. I've been at PSU in a staff role for over 10 years, so I know a lot about the institution and can help you navigate whatever kind of logistical issues might crop up. So yeah, anytime you have a question about the student experience before or after you're a student, get in contact with me and I'd love to help you out.
Well, I am going to ask Melissa, our Associate Dean for Grad Programs and my partner in crime in creating and launching this program, to introduce herself and to introduce Portland State.
Great. Hello, everybody. I'm Melissa Appleyard, the Associate Dean of Graduate Programs at PSU School of Business, as Ketan said, and it's so great to welcome you and some of you back. Some of you are alums of PSU. And this is our community in the School of Business. Some of you might have been in other departments and obviously come from different institutions. And we have 8 master programs now. This is our newest one, the MS in Applied Data Science for Business. And we can't wait to share it with you because we've been out in industry for the last 2 years, really listening hard to what they want in terms of bridging business with data science. And we have over 400 graduate students in the business school at any one time. And we have about 25,000 business alums. There are, over 150,000 PSU alums. But of that, about 25K are business school alums. And so they're all over the world. And so it's a really exciting network to be a part of. And here are some of our students from the past, and they worked hard on their capstone project. And that's one thing that I want to emphasize in this program. We want it to be very hands-on. While it's an online program, we have live projects within it to make it very actionable and applied to. Many of you will be working full-time while you're taking it. Some will be taking it full-time basis. But our vision in the School of Business is to redefine business and transform lives. And that's what this program is all about. And we're just so excited to tell you more about it today. So I'll pass the floor to Nathan.
Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. So, as I said, the next 20-25 minutes, we want to tell you about this program, why we created it, what it might prepare you for in terms of career, what kind of preparation you need before you step in, the kinds of services that we will provide, and of course, the curriculum. I want to leave a lot of time for questions at the end. Going back to grad school is an important and big decision. And I want to make sure that during this information session and in future interactions that you would have with David or myself or anybody else, you get all your questions answered. If we just go back to March of 2020, we know what happened to all of us and the world. The pandemic hit. But as the pandemic hit, there was so many businesses, there were so many industries, and of course, hundreds of millions of people who shifted from working in offices, commuting in cars, to doing what we're doing right now, being on a digital or electronic platform. And schools went from being in person to 100% online. Healthcare delivery, same story. Now, this kind of transformation has been in the making for a little while. Of course, the pandemic has accelerated it. If you think about various different disciplines, marketing has become about digital marketing, reaching out through the web, through social media. So it has become far more about understanding SEO, about analytics versus fonts and colors. HR and recruiting, it is driven through digital processes as opposed to just human interaction. So no matter what business function we look at, or no matter what industry we look at, underlying this is a set or wave of digital technologies and an explosion in the data available and how data is used. This program is about preparing business students for future careers in this new environment. As I said, this is a significant investment of your time, 2 years perhaps if you do it part-time. So the question is it going to pay off in terms of career opportunities, in terms of fulfilling work? And I can provide various different data. This is one slice of data coming from the World Economic Forum that shows that definitely people trained in this discipline will look forward to good careers and good opportunities. Why Portland State? I'm going to hand this back to Melissa because she's been at Portland State much longer and has a broader view of what we do at Portland State and at the School of Business.
Right. So PSU is very much about regional and global engagement in a very hands-on way. And this degree really typifies that, where we want to engage in the understanding of those technologies that Keithan just laid out, but really spend time on strategy and what industry needs to make sure the graduates that come out of this program are ready to really have a nice assortment of job opportunities and be so not only versed in the cutting edge technologies, but understand what the business value is from them. And so we're really excited how we were able to construct this degree with a lot of input from industry, and also draw on our grounding in social and ethical outcomes of business. So a part of our mission statement, it's not just about economic return, it's about social and also environmental return, thinking about the so-called triple bottom line. And this program is consistent with that desire to ground our analysis in thinking about what is the long-term outcome for the global economy. And so we're really excited to bring in a heavy component on the ethics. Just because you could do something with data, should you do something with data? As one of our professors in the HR analytics certificate repeatedly says, that we really have to think hard what our role is in terms of business leadership in this digital world going forward. So we're really excited to have it grounded in the values of Portland State. And there's a service learning component too, where we will bring in, and Kathan will talk to that, outside projects, either from your own workplace or other workplaces, and they can be nonprofits as well, to bring digital technology for the better of humankind. So we're really excited about it. I'll pass it back to Kathan.
Thank you. So a quick overview. It is currently designed as a fully online program. So that makes it convenient for people who are working, who have other commitments in life, to be able to do this. There is an implication for foreign students, given the current regulations. A fully online program is not eligible for a F1 visa sponsorship. There is a cohort model. While it is online, we believe that learning happens as a result of your interaction, not just with your instructors, but with your peers. And we want you to have that cohort experience. We want you to work together on shared projects. We launched this in fall of 20, so that was our cohort 1. If you join us next year, you'll be in cohort 2. You know, it is pretty exciting. You'll help shape the program and, you know, what it'll do for several more years to come. If you are not working, doing this full time, it is 45 credits in 1 year. Many of you are probably working. You would take 2 years to complete it. This is a modular program, and I'll come to the different parts of it. But there are 3 specializations currently, and we'll talk a little bit about each of those. Blockchain for Business, the Business Intelligence and Analytics Certificate, which has been in existence now for 5 years. I've been teaching as part of that certificate for all the 5 years. And then the HR Analytics Certificate created by Professor David Coughlin. In addition, we have been working with OHSU. That's a typo, that's not OSH. And we will be bringing the Healthcare Informatics Certificate. We're kind of running through the process of making this part of this offering. So those of you who are looking at healthcare related career, this would be a good program. Now, this is one picture that I want you to take away, if there's only one thing that you remember from today's presentation. Some of you may be coming from a technology background, engineering, computer science, math. Some of you may be coming from a business background. Our goal is to create a business degree that bridges the gap between technology and business. Those who are coming from a technology background, you get a chance to get exposed to a fully rounded business program. Those who are coming from a business background, you get to learn things around data science and technology and the mathematical techniques that go there. And underlying this is values and leadership. You get to examine your own values, how to apply them in an ethical manner, and then examine and discover your leadership style and how to exercise your leadership style as you advance in your careers. So one of the questions that does get asked is this a data science degree? And you will learn about data science and analytical techniques, but this is not a deep data science degree. This is a degree from a school of business that gets you fluent in data science. We see different kinds of candidates apply for our graduate programs. You may fit into one of these categories, or you may not fit into one of these categories. You may be in a category all of your own. We're still interested in talking to you, and we're still interested in having you be part of our program. There are those who are in their careers just 1 or 2 years out of your bachelor's program, but you're very clear as to what you want to do. You want to advance your career. You're ready for grad school, and that's the competitive early career candidate. There's some who've been in a role or in a job function for a few years. They see that the world is changing. They see that there are new opportunities, and you're looking to change your career. We have several of those in our program as well. And there might be some of you who are experienced, who may already be in management roles. You've been in the workforce for a few years. You want to learn new skills, sharpen the skills you already have. You're an experienced professional, and it's time to come back to grad school to do that. So we try to shape our program so that we meet the needs of all different types of candidates. Okay, the structure of this program, it's 45 credits. There is a core of 22 credits, and then you can see the credits and the electives, which add up to the 45 along the 3 tracks: business intelligence analytics, HR analytics, and blockchain for business. The core, if you're going to do this over a 2-year period, it'll take you the first year to do the core. And we strongly recommend that you start with the core and then move on to a certificate. And we also strongly recommend that you do it in a 1-year period so that you have that cohort experience. One of the things that we have worked pretty hard at doing is to bring in projects from industry so that you're working on real problems on how to solve them. And you also have the opportunity of carrying that project through the 3 terms, fall, winter, and spring. Melissa, I'll invite you to talk about the digital transformation since you are teaching our flagship course there, and I'll describe a little bit more of the other courses.
Oh, sure, happy to. So in the digital transformation of business course in the fall term, it's all about customer value. Because if there's not customer value, but behind like the greatest artificial intelligence, machine learning engine, then why do it, And so it's really trying to put the customer first before all of the bells and whistles on Internet of Things, big data, cloud computing, deep learning. It's like, why are you doing it? Are you really solving a true need? And so we have incredible projects going right now. One is, for example, in traffic safety. how can you use connected vehicle data to have real-time analytics predicting when a crash might happen? And so can you do something about the built form to avoid the crash from happening? So it's that kind of understanding of what is the purpose of all these really cool Industry 4.0 technologies to solve a true need in society. So be thinking of that in either where you're working currently or where you'd like to work, and we're happy to try to hustle projects from different sectors, is thinking about what is a digital transformation that's underway and how do you actually go talk to live customers. So our students are out in the field, virtually, of course, but out in the field via Zoom, of asking what is the job that the customer's trying to do and the true need they have, and will this digital transformation solve it and how? So anyway, that's the kind of real world application we want you to come away with from this program.
So you bring in that project, and the project may be in the area of public transportation, it may be in terms of healthcare, it may be in education, it may be in finance or auditing. Next term in the security, privacy, ethics, you say, okay, I'm meeting a customer need. Well, am I meeting it in a way where keeps the data secure? What are the security frameworks that I need to apply? Privacy is a huge concern as more and more data is created, and you could lose your personal identity as a result of loss of data. How do I ensure privacy? What are ethical uses of data? What are unethical uses of data? How do I ensure that I'm thinking about this very carefully? And then you go and take it into Brian McCarthy's course in spring and say, okay, I've got a good idea and a good solution. I really understand how to apply privacy, security, ethics frameworks, and it meets needs properly. How do I change people's minds? How do I drive organizational change so that, in fact, it is being adopted the way we want it to be adopted? So through these courses and through the strategy course, through the managerial and cost accounting course, you will get a pretty fully rounded management education. You'll also have special topics so that you will be exposed to advanced topics in data science. Now that's the core. In addition to that, you get to pick one of the certificates, and David has taught in the blockchain for business. I will invite you to talk to that for a minute or two as to what we are doing with the blockchain for business certificate.
Awesome. Thank you, Keithan. I think this program is really exciting because while there are a number of places that you can study the technology behind blockchains and distributed ledgers, we're the first here at PSU to establish a program that's focused on enterprise application of distributed ledger technology. So that may or may not include involvement in cryptocurrency, or some kind of, more likely, some kind of interesting tokenization of something that's difficult to digitally trade value on right now. So the business and social implications of blockchain technology being applied to more and more enterprise applications is really tremendous. It's a really fast-growing sector. We're early in the adoption curve, so it's a very collaborative community. It's really, there are a lot of just really fun people to work with. And corporate America is looking very, very closely at what are the long-term implications of this. And so you see a lot of pilot projects out there, a lot of research, a lot of curiosity among the Fortune 500. And so this is a good long-term play, for your career to get ahead of the curve in an area in which most people still don't have a whole lot of specific detailed knowledge.
The other certificate to consider is the Business Intelligence and Analytics. This is probably the one that's been around for the longest. It is a joint collaboration between the School of Business and the Engineering Technology Management Department and the System Science Department. Of our 3 certificates, this is probably the most in-depth in terms of STEM skills and math skills. You will learn linear and integer programming. You'll learn regression analysis. You'll learn what is data warehousing and how to do data warehousing. You'll learn about data mining. I teach the business side of the course in this, and it's relevant and applicable across functions, whether marketing or accounting or supply chain. If you're even coming from an IT background and want to kind of deepen your skills, this is a good certificate to take. The last one in terms of the menu as of today is the HR Analytics certificate. The process of managing the workforce, human resources, is becoming more and more data driven. And how do you do that in a way that serves the organization, serves the people, but also maintaining the kind of human connection and letting data do its work and then let the humans do their work, as it were. So it's across recruitment, training, performance management, the full range of management functions. And it's not just for HR professionals. If you are looking at a general management a path for yourself in the future, it may be a good match for you as well. Applications are open, and I would encourage people to get, it's never too early to get started. And it's always good to have an application early. You'll be probably considered for more scholarship opportunities. We've tried to keep it fairly straightforward. Transcripts, your resume, 2 professional references. We have 3 short essays, about 250 words each. And for the overall program, we require a undergrad stats course with a B or better. And for the BIA, there are some higher requirements than that. Now, we also know that some of you may be away from college for a few years. We don't want to make that a barrier. So there are preparatory primers that will get you ready before you step into the classroom virtually or perhaps physically next year. We also, please be assured that we want to make this as easy as possible for those who want to pursue this. One of the other things that I want you to take away as you are thinking about this is, what are the key values that we want to impart, right? First and foremost, it's about thinking critically, thinking strategically. Your critical and strategic thinking skills will be sharpened when you go through this. You'll also learn analytical techniques, at least enough so that you're fluent to talk to somebody on the other side who may have a master's or a PhD coming from math or computer science. And third, it's important that you examine your own values and you are able to exercise leadership when you step out of this program back into the workforce. Financing your degree is important. Affordability is important. This is the tuition table, if you will, for residents versus non-residents. There are assistance and scholarship programs available. The School of Business offers scholarships. The university offers scholarships. For the university scholarships, you should apply earlier. There's student loans. A lot of employers are willing to partly or fully subsidize higher education opportunities. There are some assistantships. So, we're very cognizant of the fact that affordability is an issue, and we work towards making it more accessible. We, of course, want you to have a good, rich experience while you're in the program. But we also want this to be a bridge to your future career and career advancement. So there is a range of services and experiences that you will get in addition to your classroom training. The work that our staff do in terms of getting your resume ready, preparing you with mock interviews, one-on-one coaching, all of those kind of add up to having you be prepared to make a career change, be ready for your interview. So I hope this gives you a good idea. Start thinking about what you want to do, get your questions answered. David and I are both here to do that, and to facilitate you can be prepared to get your application in. All right, I have spoken nonstop. I will stop there and open it up to the floor.
I'll go. So I understand this is a newer program, but do you have any information on return on investment? So, so I'm an experienced professional. What kind of percent increase should I would be feasible for me to look for in the marketplace, or sort of like when an experienced professional plus this degree, what kind of pay range would I be looking at? I'm not sure if you guys have that kind of data, but just wondering about that.
We've looked at job opportunities, we've looked at pay scales, but I don't think we have enough data or data points to characterize a hard ROI. This is completely anecdotal, so take it for what it's worth. But one of the students who was in this program got offered a job with a local tech startup and decided to just move on. So that's not what we want. We want you to do the full program. But we've got to collect more data to give you a hard. I know I'm talking to an accountant, so I want to be precise. Melissa, what would you add to that?
Right. And Catherine, that's exactly where we're going with our data collection. And we've done it for our other graduate programs to really be able to say definitively, here is the range that you can expect. Because this is the first cohort through, we don't have the data yet. But like Kathan said, as part of the creation of the degree, we looked hard at the job listing services like Indeed.com to really understand what the career path would be. And they're really excellent, like business analyst jobs out there that expect that have an analytics specialist and or a blockchain specialist. And the career progression is really promising in, good 6-figure salary, et cetera. So we, like Kathan said, we just don't have the alums yet to track, but we have done it for other programs, and we'll feel confident it's in the keeping with the other programs, that they're really good, solid career outcomes. Another part of the program that we're working on is having a co-op experience. So people who aren't working full-time, who want a really focused internship in either the business analytics, HR analytics, or business blockchain, we're working on finding really career-ready internships in that area to help with that career building for your resume. So
Sure.
Thank you for the question. We will be tracking the data in this program. We're just not quite yet there.
That's always been the one thing that kind of stops me from doing one of these programs is, like working in consulting, like you're at a good pay, but like, I obviously it's more about like where I would be next. So like for me being experienced at a Big Four, I would be looking, past the specialist point. So just wondering if that would be feasible. Maybe like somebody with like the HR analytics certificate, like what kind of, I don't, and you can always follow up with an email with that kind of information, but.
Catherine, I will follow up with you in terms of more detailed data. But to add to what Melissa said, as we were designing this, we were talking to leaders and sort of their leadership requirements. So we talked to the CIO of Daimler Trucks. We talked to the senior leadership at the Standard. We talked to senior leadership at AWS, Nike, and Intel. So across sectors and at senior levels. And this course reflects sort of what they want to see in senior folks that they're either nurturing or would hire.
Well, I actually used to work at the Standard, so that's helpful.
While we don't have enough data, I feel confident that there will be good outcomes for our students.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, I have a question about the math required for the BIA.
Yes.
So I have an EE. Are we talking like beyond that math, or what? I'm just wondering, because if this is something that I want to do in the fall, I need to figure that out.
Right. Now, if you have, by the way, I have an undergrad EE and a graduate CS. So hello from a fellow EE. But I think you would have enough college level algebra and stats and calculus that you'd be well prepared.
Another thing too, I've seen the little bit I've read about this, and it did get brought up here, is the e-commerce side of it. Is that just more of, is the idea that you would just have that experience going through the business intelligence part of it, that you would get some e-commerce experience through that, or is there some specific to e-commerce? Because that's kind of what is pushing me towards this.
Well, virtually any kind of business that is doing selling has to have an e-commerce channel today. it's not an option, right? Right from my local Thai takeout place half a mile down the road to Walmart.com. The idea is that, you know, if you're running an e-commerce operation, what are the elements that would go into e-commerce, right? What's the digital experience that you might create through your website? What are the sort of data that you might collect so that you've got a rich set of data in your data warehouse? What kind of protection might you put into place that ensures privacy? So the point of showing that e-commerce was this is how a lot of businesses are run, most businesses are run, and you need these skills to run that kind of operation effectively. Hopefully I answered your question there.
Yes, so
Sorry, I'm not very quick on the unmute draw, but I'll let you go ahead.
yeah, James, I was just going to add that, like Kathan's suggesting, a lot of the underlining, the skills that you learn, say in the BIA certificate, data warehousing, for example, that you'll use in, you know, whatever application that you have in your organization. If it's particularly digital marketing or e-commerce, you would use those underlying skills in that capacity. We have some additional, we have an executive training group called the Center for Executive and Professional Education. That's our executive ed group. And there are additional, like digital, if you want, you know, really focus on, say, digital marketing, there's some additional courses you could take within that program as well. But these foundational skills that you'll have in the BIA certificate are transferable across whichever sector you're in. And e-commerce applications are just one of the many applications you can use the skills in.
Thank you. That's helpful.
I wanted to dive a little bit further into the data warehousing and data mining, and two comments that I heard that were made. The first was that, you know, this is more so going to be the person that bridges the gap between business and technology, and that this is not a data science degree, and that you're not going to come out of this as a data scientist, right? I understood that. And then the second piece was something you just brought up, Melissa, which is the Center for Professional Development, or I don't think I got the word right, but basically where you can take like one-off courses. And I've actually taken one on data visualization myself, and I think you can add to that and get like a certificate. So my question, and where I'm kind of going with this, is how far in the weeds are you diving into data warehousing, data mining in this program versus like data science? And then what is the difference between getting, I mean, outside of the distinction of saying you have a master's versus having a certificate, like what is the difference between just taking like a one-off course that's more specialized as opposed to going through this entire program?
Okay, so you know, there's a 4-credit graduate level course in data mining. There's a 4-credit graduate level course in data warehousing if you do the BIA certificate. So you will get a pretty thorough grounding in those topics, and you know, any reputable IT department would look at that and say, okay, Jessica is well prepared. We're ready to hire her at a senior level. Now, you may have different aspirations. You might want to be the super nerd at Nike who's consulted on kind of deep data science questions and you know, do regression analysis backwards and forwards in your head, and curve fitting and all kinds of fun stuff. If that's what you want to do, then this is not the data science program. But if you want to have a solid grounding both on management skills and IT skills, then this is the program. So that's sort of one question. The second question was, what's the difference between getting a master's degree rather than a one-off course or a one-off certificate? I think that's something that depends on you in terms of where you are in your life and career, what your aspirations are, how much time and energy you have. If you are thinking about, I want to lay the foundation for where my career goes over the next 10, 15, 20 years, then a master's program that gives you a solid grounding in both management and leadership and data science, that's a good investment. If I'm really very busy, I just need this one specific area where I need to sharpen my skills, then a one-off program or certificate might make more sense.
Yeah, I would just add that the master's we've really thought hard about how the courses are integrated in the core and complement the certificate that you would choose to give you that depth of ability to ask good questions and be a leader in your organization around sort of data intensive topics. Because and again, when we were out in industry talking to people, there often is this disconnect between, all this capability, but not guiding it to answering really important questions within the organization. And so this master's is really being able to ask really important questions and guide people and lead people to answer them. So it is very much on that. So a lot of things are going to be automated, but we need humans to guide how that automation is going to be applied, both for social reasons, racial equity reasons, just general how business is done reasons. And so that's where we've thought really hard about what are the grounding principles that leaders in this arena need to have. And that's where we feel that this master's really fills that gap between creating the leaders that will guide ethical and holistic data science in the future. But just to be clear, this is not a data science degree, and we have wonderful certificates in, say, the systems science group, as well as the engineering school, both certificates and master's programs. If you want to be more the person who's actually, programming the algorithm, not just being able to apply the algorithm. So, for sure, check out those other programs too, if you want more heavy programming. But frankly, a lot of the programming jobs are going to go away when there is kind of a lot of the advancements that are going on with like code-free app development and things like this. So, so it's just interesting trends that are out there that really make the leadership piece that much more important.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Other questions?
I have a question on the timeline. There are, I think, multiple dates I saw. There's December 15th and then a later date. What's the difference between those dates?
Yeah, so basically the earlier you get your application in, the quicker it's going to be processed, and if you're able to get it in before February, then you're eligible to apply for scholarships. That's the scholarship deadline. So we do have these quarterly deadlines, but it is in effect rolling. But your advantage.
David, I hear you. Did something happen with your audio?
Everything did pause for a moment.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be on my end. My internet might be a little unstable right now, but I'm sorry, if you don't mind just repeating that.
Yeah, so you'll see different deadlines because they're set out quarterly, but you're advantaged to apply early because scholarship deadlines are in February.
Yep. If you can get your application in early, university scholarship assignments will happen earlier, but we'll consider applications all the way through spring, early summer.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for all those questions. I'm sure as you're thinking this through, there'll be other things on your mind. Feel free to reach out to us. David and I are here to facilitate your decision-making process and your application process. And hopefully we'll see some of you in the classroom.
Yeah, can I just end by saying your questions were right on point, really great questions. And can I just suggest that as you're thinking about this degree or any degree, is think hard about who has the job that you think is your dream job, you know, say 5 to 10 years from now, like that's my dream job. And try to reach out to them through LinkedIn or through, you know, just contact them, because while COVID's still on, it's a great time to set up an informational interview. Just say, hey, can I meet with you for 30 minutes? I'm really impressed by your background and what you do for, you know, on your day-to-day. I'd like to know more about that. And then these are the kinds of things I'm thinking about career-wise. And people have been taking calls like that more so than in the past because of the ease of getting on Zoom. So I encourage you to think hard about talking to a couple people who have the jobs that you want to shoot for, and making sure, one, it's the kind of job that you think it is and you like what they do, and two, just understand what kind of background is best for that job or the career to get there, the career steps to get there. Just because you do want to use your time and financial resources wisely, and you're asking such great questions along these lines, but collecting just a little more information through informational interviews often is a great way to go. And if you need people to talk to, if you see people, if you connect with us on LinkedIn or however, just let us know if you want us to do introductions for you.
Well, thank you all. We look forward to, I look forward to reviewing your applications or interacting with you in any way that is helpful to you.
Thanks so much, everybody. All right, have a
Thank
great rest of
you.
your day.
Really
Appreciate your
enjoyed seeing
time.
you.
So much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Great day.
Great, thanks.
Thanks, bye-bye.